You are looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at DNA HQ. On today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap, the Utah Mammoth are in a playoff race. Let's break it down.
Absolutely. And Utah football, no spring game this year. Let's talk about that.
For the Utah Jazz, expansion draft is on the way. Who would you protect and why?
And in Major League Baseball, the duel of the century, maybe even of all time, Shohei Ohtani versus Babe Ruth. Let's talk about it.
All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another exciting edition of the DNA Sports Recap. My name is Darren. That is AJ. What is going on, my friend?
Dude, every time you hear that music, doesn't it just get you pumped up?
I get really excited.
Like, I really do.
Really
it's so funny because, like, even when I rewatch some of our own videos, I hear it. I'm just like, it's go time. Let's go.
Yep, I love it. I love it. And as you know, folks, we're going to go ahead and do the pre-show cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
Once again, folks, if you're watching this on our live stream, we want to hear from you folks. Jump in the comments, jump into the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. AJ wants to know your favorite color. And yeah, feel free to comment on what we're talking about. We love to engage with you guys as the show goes. If you're listening to us on our podcast, we do this live stream every Thursday evening at 7:30 Mountain. So make sure, Wednesday evening.
Just tune in. It's fun. Makes it more fun for us. Get there.
Exactly. Wednesday evening, 7:30 Mountain Time. Join us.
Yeah, we're here every Wednesday.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your Utah Mammoth, shall we, AJ?
Let's get into it.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So since last week, the Mammoth have had some losses, a little bit of ups and downs going on for the Utah Mammoth. They did.
They also had a good win too.
Yes. So they have a 5-2 loss to the Oilers.
Yep.
Which shout out to Connor McDavid, by the way, for hitting his 400th goal against us, which is always nice. Utah has experience with other professional teams like setting records against us, so that's par for the course.
Hey,
for
might
us.
as well just keep going with it, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Might as well. And then also you think that would be the mentioning of, giving up 5 goals would be the worst defense we had this week, but actually that's not the case. The Mammoth also lost to the Capitals 7-4. They gave Alex Ovechkin, a hat trick in that game. Which Vitek Vanacek allowed 6 goals on 23 shots before he's got pulled for Veggie in the third period. Which, when did Veggie not start? When did that happen?
I think they alternate him.
Yeah, do you think it was just like a?
I think he was just alternated in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's been quite a few games. There's a lot of slotty games, and more on that to come there.
Yeah.
But they also came back with got back on the horse there with a couple of good wins.
Yeah, and one of their big wins was against the LA Kings. That 6-2 win was crucial, man. I mean, with the playoff race the way that it's currently going, that was essentially like a 4-point game because they're in the standings, right? That 2-point win swings it a full 4 points because it was 2 points that the Kings couldn't get from them.
Right. So
big time win in that victory. And it really just kind of helped, continuing to cement their odds to actually make the playoffs. As at the time of recording, they got a 94% chance of making the playoffs, which is fantastic. This team has been playing great hockey. Obviously we got a lot of youth out there. It was really nice to get Alex Kerfoot back. Who was, returning from injury. He'd missed nearly 50 games due to injury.
Yeah.
And I mean, really this was a win that it was kind of one of those must-haves, right? Like we had a 2 or 3 point lead, but this one really helped cement that. So it was really good to see him get the win against Kings.
Oh yeah. Over the last week, there's about 8 points to be had. I think 6 would have been ideal, but getting 4 and having that come against the Kings that win against the Kings was huge.
Yeah.
I think he would have if it wasn't the Kings, we ended up beating like the Orioles and lost to the Kings. That would actually have been worse.
Correct.
You know, so they also got a win over the Wild as well, 5-2. As you mentioned there, they're sitting at 82 points for the Mammoth right now, which is 5 points ahead of the second place wild card spot, which is the Nashville Predators. Utah still, as you mentioned, 95% chance for a playoff berth, but they're actually only 6 points ahead of the Kings and the Jets and 7 over the Sharks right now.
Yeah.
So there's
it is a tight playoff race sure.
Yeah, if they lose some ground here, you could be out in one game.
And the scary part is almost falling into that second wild card spot. Did you see this?
Yes, because if you fall in the second wild card spot, then there's going to be a whole bunch of matchups and some of that.
The matchups get real messy.
Yeah, it starts to get real head-to-head. You know, it gets really kind of sketchy.
Yeah, because if they fall into that second wild card spot, they potentially have to play the Colorado Avalanche, which is one of the top teams in hockey right now. Mm-hmm. That's not a place you want to go. This is a team that could potentially win the whole thing this year. And then if you happen to get out of the Avalanche, and you got to go play the Stars or the Wild, which is also two really tough matchups. So they just need to stay in that number one wild card spot. The other thing that could potentially hurt them is if the Oilers do surge and get a couple wins and they win the Pacific, the Pacific Division, then you got to go play the Oilers again in that first round. So either one of those teams could really be tough. So it's almost like you want the Avalanche to keep winning.
Yeah,
and then you take the second team.
Yeah, because you have to play the Orioles or the Oilers again in the next 6 games.
Right.
You have them again after you just got handed to them, basically.
Yeah.
And then you have to face them in the playoffs, which was not something you want to do. But also, what I was actually thinking more about, AJ, is actually some of the tiebreakers if the Utah Mammoth fall into that second spot.
Yeah.
Because we could potentially fall into a second spot where we're going to be tied with 2 other teams. Plus, because they're both at after the Predators, the Kings and the Jets are tied for the next spot. Yeah, and then you also have the Sharks, which are only 1 point behind them. So depending on how they played each other throughout the season, could play a lot into the tiebreaker spot. Not even talking about what happens in the playoffs, but there's a good chance if they fall in that second wild card, they could be one bad game and one other team's playing well.
Yeah,
could kick you out of the playoffs altogether.
Yeah.
So while there's only a 5% chance of them falling out of it, it's not a done deal yet. Correct me if you've ever heard this before, but Utah can control their own fate. Let's just hope that they do a little bit better than the boys on the hill about doing that.
Yeah, and they've got to win like 6 of the next 8, I think.
They have 6 games remaining over the next 10 days.
Oh, they got 8 remaining total, right?
I could be wrong on this one.
Okay, yeah, I think they got 8 games remaining. But I think if they win, once they win 4 of them, depending on the other teams, you could know if you're a lock at that point. So after 4 points, depending on what the other teams do, they can actually win it. Yeah, they can be confirmed.
I only have 6 games. I guess I must have got the schedule wrong. But
I got them at 38, 30, and 6, which is, 68, 74? Yeah.
82 games left in the schedule.
Yeah, 8 games.
Okay. I don't know why I think there's only 6 games left. Anyway.
Too many beers.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. But yeah, so again, in the next 10 days before they wrap up the regular season, we've got, again, this is done, April 16th is when the regular season concludes. Yeah. So we've got a few games left, a few more to wrap up in the regular season. Tough games ahead is the Edmonton Oilers. Again, we play them again. They are a playoff caliber team, obviously, who we just lost to. And then you also have the Carolina Hurricanes. They're a well put together team, and they're going to be tough. So those two I'm kind of thinking is, those are potential L's coming our way.
Yeah.
If we could push them into OT and get a point out of that, that'd be fine. I mean, that's what you could shoot for.
Yeah, you just got to keep edging towards that playoff number.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And then we also have some other games that are coming up against the players against some of the teams that we actually have. But yeah, out of those, I think we need about 4 wins. 4 wins to really lock in that spot at that time.
And depending on where those win comes, you can either lock in your spot a little sooner or a little bit later.
Yes, because then you can knock out some of those other bubble teams.
Yep, absolutely.
Like the Sharks and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to this. I mean, 95% chance, there's only – that would be a pretty bad collapse if they fell out of that. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But how exciting is that, man? Year 2 into a professional league, we have – we're going to have an HL playoffs here in Salt Lake City, Utah, man. That's fantastic.
That is – it's such a cool thought. And realistically, you're just hoping this team kind of just stays dialed in on getting recovered after games, staying healthy, staying focused. Go out there, keep winning hockey games. Everything's going to be, as long as you go out there and win, everything will take care of itself.
Yeah, I see in my notes where I screwed up. 6 games the next 10 days.
Okay, that makes sense.
8 games total.
Yeah.
So that's basically where I got there. So, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of back-to-backs in there too. Like you play the hurt.
Dude, hockey has a crazy schedule.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to kind of understand this sport and be new to hockey and really kind of understand it and kind of learn along with it. So it's been great. Are you guys new to the hockey scene, or are you longtime NHL fans? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Are you guys excited about this team? We want to hear from you. Let us know.
Yep.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. There's just a couple of subjects we wanted to talk about when it comes to the Utes this week. As a reminder, folks, we're in the middle of spring right now. It ends
spring practices. Absolutely.
Yeah, it ends, I think, later this week, right?
No, I think they have 2 weeks left or a week and a half left. I think it's the end of next week. Is when it ends. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so folks, we want to talk to you about a little bit of what we got coming out of spring camp here. The first thing we want to talk about is what dropped a couple days ago, and it was announced that there will be no spring game, no Forever 22 game in the 2026. That was announced by Morgan Scally. They state the reason for this is they're opting for that additional practice. A lot of new faces, want to get them acclimated and all of that good stuff. AJ, I'm not satisfied with that answer.
No.
I'm not satisfied with that answer.
No.
The real reason why I think they're doing this is because they're trying to protect their players from getting poached.
Absolutely.
And this is kind of screwing over the fan, in my opinion, on this one. The Forever 22 game is a fun game to go to. You know, I've been to it with you, actually. We actually went to one of these games together.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. The spring transfer portal, a lot of people say, oh, well, the spring transfer portal was closed, so that's not a reason why they're not doing it. And that's why, it won't happen. But that's not actually true.
Right.
It's kind of like a soft transfer portal. Essentially what these players could do is they can unenroll from school, from the University of Utah, and then just re-enroll to the next highest bidder.
Yeah.
And then there you go. You're in time for fall camp. No transfer portal needed. Just in and out, what have you. Just jump like that. And, that actually happened to us last year with Zacharias Williams. He bailed on us after balling out in spring game against, and then, in spring game he balled out. We talked about it on that episode, how well he performed. And then,
shortly right after the spring game, he entered the transfer portal and went to UCLA.
Here come the Trojans, baby. And
UCLA.
No, it was USC Trojans, wasn't it?
I don't know. I was thinking it was UCLA for some reason.
Could be UCLA. I don't know. Both of them are down there.
You guys let us know in the comments.
We're not even in the same
We're
conference
idiots.
anymore.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, so it could be UCLA as well as the Bruins. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. The Trojans.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You guys let us know which one's right, which one's wrong. It's probably him. He's probably right. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Dunn also committed to the Utes, was committed to the Utes, and then flipped to USC as well. While I understand while they're doing this, AJ, I totally understand why they're doing it. I still don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure I like it either, but like you said, this is all the Utes' effort to protect the players that they've already recruited, right? Because the fact is after a good spring game, they've just had too many players jump into the portal. And yes, that spring transfer portal window is gone, but it's too easy for these players to just still make a clean break and get out of whatever it is they've committed to. So this is a keep the roster intact move 100%. I think it does add some value, right? Just like Morgan Skelly said, one additional practice for this team. It is going to help a team who is just doing everything they can to build as much cohesion as possible. And this team needs chemistry. That they're going to do everything they can to keep building that. So, is it the primary reason? Absolutely not. But the fact is this team has high expectations for themselves, right? But I mean, we as fans have high expectations for this team this year. So, as a diehard Utes fan, anything that they can do to better prepare for this fall season, I'm good with. If they can keep the roster intact, I'm good with it. So, I'm all in. I will miss this game. It does hurt my heart because we have had some good times there. It is a fun game to go watch. It's nice to get out there on a nice April day and go watch some Utah football. So it hurts, but I'm good with it. I understand the reasoning for sure.
Yeah, I get it too. It makes sense, but honestly, man, if I see more than 2 or 3 player moves after this, spring camp is over, I'm just gonna say, 2 or 3 people moved last year.
Bring the damn game back.
Let's just bring the game back.
Yeah.
I think this year should be the year where we decide, because some of this poaching happened last year when a lot of other Big 12 teams did not have a spring game.
Yeah.
So we're one of the last ones that kind of did, and I don't know. It kind of been detrimental, and maybe Morgan Scalley's just testing it out to see what happens, but we'll see for sure.
Yep.
Let us know what your thoughts are, folks, in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the Forever 22 spring game? Are you going to miss it? Are you not going to miss it? Are you like AJ, just like, look, if it keeps the team together, I'm all for it? Are you going to go to that fan fest thing they're going to do instead? Let us know what your thoughts are. Yeah, me neither.
That's weird.
Just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Speaking about building team cohesion, AJ.
Yeah.
This is something we actually wanted to launch into, because this is actually an article that was posted on SI.com by Cole Forsman that was titled "How Utah is Viewed by College Football Analytics Rankings Going into the 2026 Season." This article states that Utah has fallen from 8th going into the 2025 season all the way down to 25th. So the SP Plus rankings is a prediction model that answers the question of how good will this team be this season, knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Right? It does take into account of things like returning production, recent performance, coaching continuity, and recruiting, basically. It's kind of the key drivers for this.
Yeah.
Bottom line is that there's just been too much change for this Utah staff and players. The fact that they are still in the top 25 isn't nothing. I think that's where I want to highlight this, is that this isn't nothing. Being in the top 25 when you've completely redone the majority of your coaching staff and you've reset a lot of your players, there's only really 2 teams in the Big 12 that are ahead of you that you really want to focus on. And honestly, it's the 2 that you predicted, right? The 2 that finished ahead of you in the polls, in the rankings last year anyway.
Right.
Which was BYU at 18 and Texas Tech, obviously. They were at number 5, I believe, in the rankings there. So I don't know, man. What's your take on this?
I think what surprises me most is when you dig into that SP model, it breaks it out individually for offense, defense, and special teams, right?
Right.
And the current rankings, it has Utah, the offense ranked at 18th. The defense is ranked 34th, and the special teams is ranked 74th. So last year, like you mentioned, they were ranked 8th. And with that 8th ranking, it had the offense ranked 6th, the defense ranked 17th, and the special teams, crazy enough, also at 74. So I understand the drop in offense, right? 8th to 18th, fair enough. Kevin McGibbon, as great as I think he is, he was not as hyped as Jason Beck coming into this. So I understand that, but also you have offensive players now that are proven commodities, right? Bert Ficklin had a breakout year. He's backing up a Devin Dampier that we know can produce at Division I football level, which we didn't know last year.
Right.
The big question is Devin Dampier talented enough to come from the Mountain West Conference and produce in the Big 12? We know that to be a fact now. So yes, we got some O-line issues, but that far of a fall based on an offensive coordinator, I think is a little sketchy. Because that's it. Like I said, a few O-line issues, but we got some great O-line recruits, and some talented guys still returning that have played a ton of football for the U.
Yeah, see, I think that's where the confusion is between us and the national media. The national media is definitely going to be, or the national college analytics for football is going to see the head coach transition much bigger than we are.
Right, absolutely.
They're going to see a 20-plus year vet of Utah head coaching walking out the door and taking his program with them.
But these guys have got to know that Morgan Scalley's taking the program over.
Yes, but they don't know him any better than like when Kalani Sitake took over at BYU after being the defensive coordinator at Oregon State.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they're kind of seeing it, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, okay, yeah, he's a Utah guy, and yes, his defense has been part of Utah's, bread and butter for the last 10-plus seasons or however long it's been. But they're going to see that part, like, okay, their continuity, their 20-plus year rock at the head coaching position, guy who's been there forever, is now gone, and he took his offensive coordinator and a bunch of his offensive talent with him, this is going to be a huge hit for them. And I think it would have been a much bigger hit if it wasn't for the fact that Morgan Scally was there.
Yeah.
This is really taking. I think they're taking that head coaching spot and they're giving it a lot more credence than I think we would really do it.
Yeah.
Just because we know the program a little bit better.
See, but I think the defensive drop from 17th to 34th is what really kind of set me for, because that's a massive drop.
Yes, but you also got to remember, again, it's a defensive coordinator coming in that wasn't part of.
But he's still on the roster. He's still there.
That's true. It's
not like he's not still heading up the defense, right? I mean, he's handing over to Colton Swan, who's been with the program 10 plus years as well.
True, but again,
But you did lose some talented guys,
exactly.
Right? You lost John Henry Daly, who was an All-American, at the defensive end, went to Michigan. Smith Snowden, who's, all Big 12 cornerback that, obviously went to Michigan as well. You lose Lander Barton to the draft, but you look at it and it's like John O'Hall played a ton of really good reps. He was in there, the Logan Fano. He was good. He's going to the NFL. I'm not sure if he was really ready. I think his brother was ready and he was like, let's do it together. But you got Lance Holtzclaw that had a bunch of great games. That's going to come in for the D line, and you still have the coaching consistency. I don't know if I agree with that far of a drop off on the defensive end, but I am a Utah homer, so it happens.
He is our resident homer, folks.
Yes.
We got to have that glass is completely full. Don't know what you're talking about. Stop pouring. It's all over the table kind of take on things.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a kind of I don't agree with this either, to be honest with you. I think that's too far of a drop, especially where you have BYU at 18.
Yeah.
So, they're not. I think the only really reason they're difference between them and Utah in that case is going to be the coach consistency, the continuity of coaching. I think it's really kind of playing big. So that's kind of where I think, like I'm saying before, hanging my hat on that, because I think they're treating that with a lot more weight than we are.
Yeah.
I think. And I think they're going to be surprised. So
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what you think of the S&P rankings, S&P Plus rankings.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys thought, what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to that. Do you think this ranking is off, like we think it's off, or are you in line with this one? Do you think that we're going to see a bit of a regression from last year? I do think the University of Utah is going to regress a little bit from last year to this year. I do have them staying within one win of the same record, but I do think that there's going to be some growing pains early on, and luckily we have a favorable schedule. I think that's going to counteract that a little bit.
I totally agree. I think we got a favorable enough schedule that we can get some wins early and get some confidence going into that tail end of the season that gets a little tougher.
Absolutely. Jump in the comments, folks. Let us know.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk some Utah Jazz, shall we? All right, folks, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit about the Utah Jazz, man, and I am super excited about this. It was announced just last week that the NBA Board of Governors has approved to explore bids on expansion teams from Vegas and Seattle. And again, did you hear about the target date on this?
2027?
2028-29 season.
Okay.
Is when they're planning on starting. So it's going to be the 2020. It's going to be the off season between the 2027-28 to the 2028-29 season.
Yeah.
That we're going to have an expansion draft.
Yeah.
So knowing what an expansion draft is, Utah Jazz can protect 8 players. So we want to know who you would pick and why. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We know we both picked 2 players, and we're going to kind of go over, our reasonings behind why we're picking to protect these 2 players. But let's go ahead and go over the rules of how the expansion draft works first. Okay. So the rules are each team can protect up to 8 players, and leaving the rest of their roster eligible to be taken. Each team can only be picked once. So once a player is picked from that team is now out of the pool. All right. And so when it comes to the Utah Jazz, we already know a few players they're going to be keeping. Obviously, the projected starters of Larry Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Keontae George, Jared Jackson Jr. Those 4 are pretty much safe. They're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Right? They're going to probably protect those 4 easily. But that leaves up 4 more, AJ.
Sure does.
And so I picked 2. You've picked 2.
Yeah.
How do you want to go about this? Do you want to go with your first?
Yeah, let me go with mine first.
Okay.
I think that the next player you protect in this is going to be Cody Williams. the guy's gotten much better year over year. I mean, his efficiency shot up from 41.9% on true shooting percentage up to 53.3% this year. His usage rate has increased, but I think Cody creates the most. I think the most value he brings is that he's not a primary creator. I think that he's done a good job increasing his assist percentage, lowering his turnover percentage, and really becoming kind of a complementary piece to this Jazz team. They're going to need somebody just like that. He's got elite size. He's a good athlete. If he can get it to where he can draw a few more fouls to generate some more points and become a little better of a scorer, I think Cody Williams is a prime player to keep on this team because of his size, his athleticism, his ability to score the ball, and I think he can become a better defensive threat. Cody Williams has got to be one of them.
All right. No, I'd have to agree with you on the Cody Williams piece there, solely for the same reason that I picked the other two on my list.
Yeah.
Just simply because of what this team has and what this fan base has endured basically for the last, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Cody Williams has definitely got to be on that list.
I mean, he's a number 10 pick.
Exactly. Which leads me into Ace Bailey is the guy that I think we should protect in that.
Yeah.
Now, this one's pretty obvious. Not sure that we need to get too deep into this one, but again, top 5 draft pick from last season. He's performed as expected. Check out our short and last week's video in regards to that.
Do it.
Did you see that one, by the way?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have to...
Great job, by the way.
Thank you. You do have to protect the highest pick that we've gotten in this Tankapalooza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did we just do that whole thing with the wrong?
It's fine.
Just do that whole thing with the Utes thing on?
No, it was just a standard one. It was
okay.
the general overlay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ace Bailey, man, he's my pick. I think that's pretty obvious there. You got to protect that guy. He's your top 5 pick and the highest draft pick that we've had so far on this whole tankathon. And, giving up, not protecting your highest pick you've had so far during this whole, slugfest that we've had to deal with trying to race to the bottom would make no sense for me. Plus, he's playing at expectations, if not above, especially over the last couple weeks.
Totally agree. Ace Bailey is an absolute lock, being your number 5 pick. You've invested a lot of time into him. He's got a lot of really good minutes this season because they are still in tank mode. And I think Ace Bailey's only going to get better and better the further we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the next one I got is probably the most controversial one, right? Because there's a lot of good players on this roster. I'm going to take Isaiah Collier. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I think Cody Williams and Ace Bailey are kind of locks.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Collier is my next one, but I want to hear from you guys. Isaiah Collier is just, his growth this season has again just been great. His assists, I mean, I think he's the all-time Jazz rookie assist leader.
Yep.
The dude just goes out there and makes good decisions. He gets guys into positions where they can score the ball easily. He's a wrecking ball when he goes down the lane. He can put the ball in the hoop. He's just elite level playmaking ability. And we are going to need that when some of these guys are off the floor. He's got to turn his defense up a little bit, but he doesn't play bad defense. I think he's a great fit. We got him really for a steal. He was a number 1 recruit out of high school. Had that great season, or had a good season at USC. Slipped a little in the draft. We got him in the second round. Absolutely stole him. I think Isaiah Collier is a guy you have to lock up. But let me know your guys' thoughts.
That is quite a controversial one. I will have to say, I would not have protected him, honestly. Yeah. But again, when you compare him to the field, who else would you protect above him that's currently on the roster right now?
I mean, it's not Kyle Filipowski taken in the same draft.
Yeah. I mean, depending on if you're re-signing, if you're signed on to our conspiracy theory that we have a handshake deal with Nurkic.
Exactly.
You don't really need Filipowski.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that video out last week, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, I would agree with you here. Do you want to hear what my last one is?
I do.
Okay. So mine is going to be the unknown draft pick we're going to get this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Same reason as before, same reason as Cody Williams, right?
Yeah.
You were not going to give up the projected potential highest draft pick that this team has had since Enes Decanter, way back in God knows when, right? You have to, this would be the culmination. This is the last year this team's going to be this bad. This is the last time we're going to be racing to the bottom, and you qualify, and let's say you get what's projected now to be a top 5 pick. You're protecting Ace Bailey. Why would you not protect the number 5 pick in the most loaded draft we've had since 2003?
Absolutely.
It would make absolutely no sense just to let this guy walk, not protect him. So again, this is going to be happening after next season. So we draft a player. He's going to be on the team for 1 year. And then after that year is going to be the year.
Yeah, he'll still be on a rookie scale contract.
Exactly. And you wouldn't not protect that guy.
Yeah.
In a draft that's this loaded. So
yeah,
there are 4 folks. We had Ace Bailey, Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier, and this year's draft pick. Let us know where we're wrong, folks. If you have somebody else that you would rather have us protect versus not,
we want to hear it.
We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Yeah.
You want to hear like a hot take on this one?
I do.
So there's going to be like 14 players, right? They're going to be picked by each team.
Yeah.
And each team can only pick 1 player. So odds are this isn't going to happen, but there's a chance that the Jazz don't even have a single player poached.
Absolutely.
They're one of the two
if
teams.
Kyle Filipowski's the one sitting on the backside, you're like,
Yeah. There are only going to be 2 teams that aren't going to get a player poached on this, and it would really be sad if the Jazz are one of them.
No kidding.
So,
yeah. They're like, you've got all your talent locked up. We're going to pass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's also an option here. But speaking of which, this is something that is a nice little segue, by the way, into what we want to talk about next, which is going to be that unknown draft pick.
Yeah.
So now this is an article that came out from the Bleacher Report. Zach Buckley has, in his latest mock draft, has the Utah Jazz picking number 2 in this upcoming draft. This article has the Memphis Grizzlies winning the top spot and taking A.J. Debinsa as the number 1 overall pick, which would make sense because they did just lose their power forward,
absolutely,
power forward and Triple J in a trade with the Jazz. I will consider that a loss because they did lose that trade. So when I say lost in a trade, that's what I mean. But yeah,
miss you, Taylor.
Yes. Yes. I hope he has a good career, man. I really do.
I do too.
But yeah, so no surprise there. AJ Debinsa going to Memphis on that one.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But this article actually has the Utah Jazz taking Darren Peterson with a 2nd overall pick. Yeah. Any player taken in the top 3 of this draft is projected to be a starter. You know, this is going to be the most loaded draft in the 23 years. So this gives the Jazz,
This gives the Jazz everything they've been needing.
Yes.
If they take Darren Peterson, if this happens and the Jazz get Darren Peterson, this changes the whole trajectory of this franchise.
He's the most NBA ready guard since Derrick Rose, in my opinion.
He could very well be the number 1 pick.
Right. And it's only because
a lot of teams are going to have him. I mean, depending on who gets the number 1 pick, you could very well take Darren Peterson over AJ Debinsa.
Yeah, which is totally possible because, Memphis, while they have a decent guard right now, you can kind of see them leaning more towards like, hey, let's move on.
Well, why don't you just play them next to each other? You know what I mean? John Morant and Darren Peterson can play next to each other because if we take him, he's going to play next to Keontae George, and Keontae George and John Morant are very similar players.
Yes.
I mean, as far as playing style, right? The way they shoot it, like the way they defend. I mean, all these things. Like they're very similar.
A better shooter, but yeah.
Obviously, John Morant's an NBA superstar, but you see what I'm saying. As far as playing styles, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Darren Peterson's going to play right next to him. So I don't know, man. I mean, this guy's had a fantastic season at Kansas, 20.2 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He shot 38% from the 3-point line, which is absolutely insane. He turned that production up when I went to the NCAA tournament and had 24.5 points per game in the tournament. This guy's a top prospect for a reason. And if we can get a chance to get Darren Peterson, the Jazz have to take him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that Jazz are perfectly aligned for that because they weren't scared away from Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
Right? They're not afraid of a little bit of controversy. And that's kind of what happened with Ace Bailey. It's kind of happening a little bit with Darren Peterson, like checking himself out of games and stuff like that. Going crazy mode for 3 quarters and then like, okay, that's enough. And then pulling himself out.
Yeah.
And then saying, oh, yeah, my hamstring's a little aggravated. I want to come out. And then just checking himself out of games. And a lot of people are like, oh, you don't want that in your team. You don't want that. And I hope that does keep anybody in front of the Jazz from wanting to take him, because you're absolutely right. He could easily just be a number 1 overall pick. Some are saying that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that Utah would take Dylan Peterson over Cam Boozer, which he should be in the mix because, again, his dad has some great years here and he speaks fairly highly. But I just don't see that happening, man. If you have a chance to draft Darren Peterson over Cam Boozer, you're going to do it because Cam Boozer, there's no point in drafting Cam Boozer because you just traded for Triple J last trade
I think
deadline.
you're just creating a larger log jam.
Yeah.
Like the Jazz are not at a point where you're taking the quote unquote most talented. You're taking the best player that fits your need, and this player fills the Jazz's need immediately.
If they were to do something like that, that gives you like a huge neon glowing sign, big and bright, saying, "Hey, Ace Bailey, you're starting next year.
Yeah.
You're going to get the run starting." If they did something like that, I do think that if they get a chance to pick Dylan Peterson, they're going to, and it's going to be Keontae, Darren, and then Ace will follow the bench, depending. But yeah, I think that's probably, if that's the way it goes out and Memphis gets the top spot and Utah gets the second one, I absolutely love that idea, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Now here's a question for you. Let's say they take Darren Peterson, Memphis does, and then you have a chance between AJ Debonsa and Cam Boozer.
You got to go by Dibanza at that point. I think he fits a little bit better in the scheme that you have. You move Ace. Ace is smaller than Dibanza, I think.
Yes, he is.
Same size.
I think he's.
I think they're both 6'8".
No, I think he's 6'8", and I think Debonsa. I thought he was 6'9". I know his wingspan's longer.
Similar sizes.
Yeah, but anyway, similar sizes. But yeah, honestly, man, that's a good question.
But Boozer's like a really solid 4-5 player.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's a front court type guy.
Yeah. He would be. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I think you're right. I think you still take AJ.
It's like you need Darren Peterson. Like
yes,
he's the best fit. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the need in the draft that the Jazz want. And there's some other. If the Jazz fall and don't get number 2, there's some other great guard talent down the lane, which we'll get into later. We'll go ahead and cover that in a future episode.
And they're going to be a top 5 pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll cover that in the next episode there when we start covering, what ifs going into the season, There's not exactly a whole lot to talk about when it comes to Jazz basketball right now.
Nobody wants to talk about Jazz basketball. Except for us, Darren.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Exactly. And we also got Triple Jazz Forge, JJ Jazz Forge. Let me know how I'm saying that, man. We've got the comment from you, AJ Debonsa, greater than Darren Cramp Pansa. I love it, dude. I love it. That's great. It's true, man. And that's the controversy behind it. Everybody's kind of like, oh, this guy doesn't want to suit up. Maybe he knows, like, hey, yeah, I'm getting paid right now, but my big payday is going to be in the NBA. Let's just kind of get through this. There's a little bit of that. You can't blame him for that, but at the same time, we're just like, you kind of want to show the league that you're gonna put up,
And I guess the big concern is if you actually are cramping up and you actually are getting hurt, that's even more of a concern.
Yeah, at the next level, for
sure. Yeah, I mean, because the players only get bigger, faster, stronger. You've got to be ready to play 30 minutes a night against the best basketball talent in the world. And
your season's like a third shorter than the NBA season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like Kansas doesn't have elite, conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, huge
infrastructure.
Concern.
Yeah, it's not like they don't have a way to hydrate you down there, in Kansas.
Yeah, they got plenty of water.
Yeah, exactly. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know your thoughts are in the comments down below. Did you see this article on Bleacher Report when it comes to the Jazz picking number 2 in the draft? Are you in agreement with us? Or are you in agreement with Bleacher Report that would be situation 1, man? That'd be absolutely golden for them to do that.
Yeah.
So we want to hear from you, folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for this, AJ?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Are you ready for this?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is going to be good, guys. It's going to be good. Okay, before we do this, let's do a pre debate cheers here. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys.
Okay. So, Vice put out a video on YouTube earlier last week. And they were doing a breaking down the GOAT debate in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And you talked about if you go into other sports, there's always there's always just the great. You got in hockey, it's Gretzky. In basketball, it's Jordan, right? Football.
And if it's not Jordan for you, just click off now. Just click off.
We will have that argument if you really want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you want to come in here with the LeBron stuff, I
said, click off. That's fine.
that would be a fun debate. I don't think we want to do that video because I don't think either one of us want to take.
I'm not. Absolutely not. Me and you can go back and forth about how great Jordan is, but we are neither one of us.
Yeah.
Being the NBA fans that we are, can debate that LeBron James is greater than Michael Jordan.
Definitely not. So it's not going to happen. But when it comes to Major League Baseball, it's always been one name and one name only, and that is George Herman Ruth, the Babe himself. But is it still? And that's what we want to get into.
Absolutely.
The conversation today that we're getting into is we're both going to pick a side, and we want you to tell us in the comments down below, who do you think won this debate, and who is your pick for MLB's GOAT? And that will be Babe Ruth versus Shohei Ohtani.
Boom.
We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below before we get into this. Do you want to make your case first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'd love to get into my case.
Okay, so we're gonna start with AJ. AJ, which side did you choose?
Mine's going to be an interactive, okay? Because I got questions for you as we're going here, and I chose Babe Ruth as the greatest, okay? And it's for a reason. I just got a question for you, Darren. Whatever Shohei Ohtani does, do you think he'll hold any career record for 39 years?
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be the career home run record for 39 years?
No.
Babe Ruth held the career home run record with 714 career home runs. Now I understand Shohei's going to pass that, but this record was held for 39 years of Major League Baseball.
What was his total?
714.
You think Shohei Ohtani is going to hit more than 714 home runs in his career?
He might.
Okay. Keep going. I love it.
Okay. Career OPS. Babe Ruth, to this day, still the highest in Major League Baseball. 1.164. All-time number one to this day.
Nice.
Okay. Career slugging percentage, 0.690. This guy dominated power hitting like no one has ever seen. He is still to this day all-time number one in career slugging percentage. He had a single season home run record of 60 in 1927. This was absolutely beyond his time. This guy was just a legend. Okay. He led the major leagues in home runs 12 times. 12 times.
12 times. Wow.
Led all of Major League Baseball 12 times.
And wasn't even close.
He was a 7-time World Series champion.
Mm-hmm.
Had a career batting average of 342. That's insane, great. Dude. I mean, the best hitters in the world hit 300. You know what I mean? We had a whole video on Aaron Judge about can he hit 300 on the average?
400.
Oh, was it 400? Yeah. Okay.
Which he didn't, by the way. Spoiler alert.
He didn't. Yeah. So, and that's just his hitting. That's just him as a hitter. His career ERA. So you go into it as a pitcher, and obviously he pitched early in his career. Didn't pitch so much later.
You get old. You gain weight. That happens.
It happens. Dude got fat. It happens. But still, as a pitcher in his career ERA was 2.28, which is insane. This guy's not throwing 100 miles an hour. This guy's probably throwing, and I Googled a couple places. I couldn't actually find what his average pitch speed was because I'm assuming they didn't have radar in 1927.
No, but it's been assumed that he's pitching in the upper 80s.
Upper 80s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So upper 80s, which
was fast for the time.
At that time, fast. Obviously, almost unhittable for a 2.28 career ERA. But at that time, I mean, during his seasons pitching, he was 22% better than league average with his career ERA, which is very impressive. He had a 94-46 record as a pitcher with 17 shutouts.
That's insane.
17.
Didn't he have 40-something career complete games or something like that?
I didn't have that one.
It's an insane number.
Yeah.
It's a different game, different type of game back
A
then.
whole different game. Yeah. I mean, complete games were much more common back then. If you pitched the whole game.
Yeah, you pitch to contact, not strikeouts. Yeah.
Yeah. His best season was the 1916 season where he went 23-12 with a 1.75 ERA and 9 shutouts. And then in the World Series that he pitched in, he had a 3-0 record with a .87 ERA and 29.2 consecutive scoreless innings, which was a record at the time that it happened.
Isn't it still a record?
I'm sure it's still a record. Yes, for sure.
I don't know anybody he's done more than that, but
I mean, this guy before he became a full-time hitter, Babe Ruth was one of the best left-handed pitchers that baseball had ever seen. And for him to transition from an elite pitcher to a great hitter, it just makes this story that much better, right? Because Shohei was a great pitcher, or, was a good pitcher and has become such a great hitter, and he battled an injury and then had such a great hitting season and I'm sure, I'm not going to go into too much because I'm sure you've got all the things that you're going to pitch on your GOAT.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. That's all of that stuff put together, dude. Babe Ruth was an absolute legend. And I think that's enough to make him the greatest of all time.
That's a great argument, man. That's a great argument. Babe Ruth will easily go down as anybody who knows baseball knows the name Babe Ruth.
Absolutely. And people that don't even know baseball
know the name
Babe Ruth. Absolutely.
Anybody who knows baseball knows the curse of the great Bambino curse.
Yeah.
The reason why Boston took over 100 years to win a World Series is simply because of the fact that they traded him.
Yeah.
And then he became this legend with 7 rings.
Yeah.
With the Yankees. Yeah. And the crazy thing about him, man, is that this guy was 6'2", 230, right?
Yeah.
This guy swung a bat that's probably about like half a pound heavier than anybody who swings Major League Baseball today.
Right.
Just an absolute log this guy is swinging.
Yeah.
And his bat speed is comparable to the average bat speed of today. Like the modern athletes that we have with their super light bats.
Just an absolute freak. And these aren't fully trained athletes in the 1920s, right?
No.
These guys still, a lot of them still had full-time jobs.
Yeah. And the thing about Ruth is if I always had this comparison with Ruth. If Babe Ruth was dropped down into Major League Baseball today, right? Who would he be? And I have a perfect comparison.
I'm ready.
Mike Trout.
Oh, absolutely.
6'2", 230. Like that's right around where Mike Trout is.
Yeah.
His elite hitting, his elite fielding, and of course, obviously Mike Trout has an injury history, has a hard time to stay on the field, but absolutely, man, I absolutely love it. Babe Ruth is easily the greatest of all time when it comes to baseball. But here's my argument against that.
I'm ready.
So this is a debate for the show versus the Babe, right?
Yeah.
And while I agree with you that there is no name in baseball bigger than Babe Ruth, times are a-changing, my friend.
I do agree.
Times are a-changing. There are people that if you showed Shohei Ohtani's face to around the world, they'd be able to point out and say, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
That's Ohtani. Ohtani. People who don't know anything about baseball, not even in a country where baseball has a professional league, you point at it, they go, Ohtani. They know who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Not exactly the same thing you say about Babe Ruth.
No, absolutely not. Definitely more of an American household name. Baseball was started in the U.S.
Yes.
He helped grow the sport to being what it is. But Babe Ruth is the reason that Shohei Ohtani can come play baseball in the United States and become a household name.
Yes. He did go over to Japan, which for most of you people who may not know. But here's my argument, man. So Shohei Ohtani. So let me just start with this. 50-50. Let's start there.
It's a tough number.
50-50. Did Babe Ruth ever hit 50 home runs and still 50 bags in a single season?
The answer is no.
Did he ever hit 50 home runs and still 20 bags in a single season?
I don't think so.
No. Still no, by the way. Yeah, you can still say no. Yeah, and he did it in a rehab year, AJ. Rehabbing from elbow surgery. Shohei Ohtani hit 50 home runs, stole 50 bags. And not only did he do that, he did that with one of the greatest games in baseball history that Babe Ruth could never touch. What's the most RBIs Babe Ruth ever got in a single game? 7, by the way.
7.
He's got 7 RBIs in a single game. Shohei Ohtani has a single game RBI record of 10.
10. That's impressive.
And he also stole 2 bags in that game to get to 50-50. in one game, AJ, which has been deemed the greatest single game performance in baseball history.
Yeah.
So nobody else in baseball has ever done that. Babe Ruth did the two-way thing, which is what everybody talks about. When you talk about Ohtani, oh, well, Babe Ruth did it. You know, no one's done that since Babe Ruth. Yeah, we can get past that a little bit because Babe Ruth only did that for 2 seasons and then stopped.
Right.
He pitched and hit for 2 seasons. Then once he went to the Yankees, he switched to being a position player, played right field, and, you know, great fielder, a great right fielder, and the best hitter in baseball history, hands down. Best slugger baseball's ever seen. But Ohtani has already done it for a legit 3 seasons while playing MVP caliber hitting year in and year out doing it. Now, if the MVP was around during, Babe Ruth's time,
he'd have 10 of them.
He'd have them, right? He would have the MVP award. That MVP would be his.
Yeah.
But you can't argue against the fact that Shohei Ohtani hasn't played 22 seasons yet, right?
Absolutely.
Shohei Ohtani has had 3 seasons where he's been an elite Cy Young caliber pitcher while also being an MVP caliber hitter in the same year. It took Aaron Judge breaking the American League home run record to beat him for the MVP. Else he would be a 5-time straight MVP winner.
Right.
Shohei Ohtani would, which in 2 of those seasons he was rehabbing from injuries. So if you're going to say, he was the best 2-way player, and that like he also pitched and hit, you can't compare the two. Ohtani has already surpassed Babe Ruth, in my opinion, as a pitcher.
What's Ohtani's career ERA right now?
Well, see, that's the difference. You can't compare.
But I'm just saying, even if he's 6-7 years in, what's his ERA versus?
It's 2.83.
2.83. Okay.
But Shohei Ohtani's Ks per 9 is more like Shohei Ohtani's Ks per 9, which is strikeouts per 9.
Yeah.
Is 4 times greater than Babe Ruth was.
Absolutely.
Because again, pitch to hit, pitch to contact versus strikeouts. So I'd say if you're talking about the 2-year, Shohei Ohtani is currently better. When he talks about just comparing a 2-way star, Shohei Ohtani has already surpassed that. One, he's not as good as hitter. I'll give you that. Okay. But Babe Ruth, better hitter. Shohei Ohtani, better pitcher. Shohei Ohtani, better athlete. Shohei Ohtani, better base stealer.
Yes.
He runs the bases. Shohei Ohtani is a 5-tool player. If he wanted to play right field, he could play right field. If he wanted to play first base, he could play first base. You take Shohei Ohtani, you put him on any position.
You could put Shohei Ohtani at catcher.
Anywhere, maybe not catcher. A little too tall. You put Shohei Ohtani literally anywhere on the baseball field, he is the best player at his position.
Yeah.
You can't, and I don't know anybody who would argue that.
No.
So, yes, is Babe Ruth a better hitter? Absolutely, 100% guarantee. Not even close. In my opinion, Babe Ruth is the best hitter baseball has ever seen. No comparison, right? But in my opinion, is Shohei Ohtani the better baseball player in when you compare all of history, when his career is over and you look back? I think I could say that Shohei Ohtani was a better baseball player than Babe Ruth.
I think as long as Shohei can stay healthy, that will be the case. As long as Shohei can stay healthy and stay on the field to help his team. And like you said, he can go wherever he wants and play any position. But he's got to be able to stay healthy. Because if he has another, season ending where he can't play defense, whether he's pitching or playing first base, whatever that is, that will seriously tarnish Ohtani's legacy as far as being the best baseball player ever, in my opinion.
So Babe Ruth had 2,873 hits in his 22-year career.
Yeah.
Ohtani's gone through 9 seasons so far as of March 1st. He has 1,053 hits.
On track. Yeah.
So in the next 13 years, can he catch him? Possibly.
Yeah.
Again, Babe is obviously the better hitter, right? Has a higher slugging percentage. You mentioned all the stats. He still currently leads all Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Is it possible for Shohei Ohtani to catch him in hits? Is it possible to catch him in home runs? Probably not home runs. I don't know. I think that's a tall task.
The pitching's a lot better now than it was when Babe Ruth was a hitter, though. Lots better. Like we'll go there.
Yeah, he was hitting bombs when people didn't know how to attack pitchers.
And is Shohei Ohtani going to play 22 seasons? Most likely not.
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like if he's 9 seasons in?
Yeah, after his 10 years contract is up in 2033.
He'll be at 18 seasons.
he'll be at like 40 years old. So
Yeah.
can he play a couple more years as a DH or as a first baseman? Possibly.
But is he going to want to? I could see Shohei being that guy that's like, I've had enough.
Yeah, see, and Babe Ruth wanted to keep playing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
After that, he wanted to manage too. So, yes. Do I think Babe Ruth is the greatest player in baseball right now? Yes, I agree with you. Do I think Shohei Ohtani has a chance to catch him and surpass him? Yes, I think he does.
I agree. I think Shohei can pass him. But I think right now, if we're talking the greatest player, right now it's still Babe Ruth.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Boom.
Okay. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to the GOAT of baseball. This is a debate. Honestly, the fact that we're even having a debate on this already just tells you how impressive.
It is that cool, though. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we're having a conversation in our time, and we're talking over 100 years later, that there's finally a player that's competing with Babe Ruth for the greatest player of all time. That's the conversation that we wanted to have.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine taking Shohei Ohtani and dropping him in the 1920s?
Oh, my gosh, dude. He would be raking. Could you imagine 80 mile? Like, it would take him a few games to adjust to 85-mile-an-hour pitches, but after that, he's
I'm wondering why they're allowed to spit on the ball.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Yeah, but I mean, he went through before they banned substances and stuff on the ball. I mean, he was still a hitter when they could put pine tar on the ball and spin it.
Well, you could never put it on the ball.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Like, got away with it
before the sticky stuff ban really happened.
True.
Yeah.
But ever since, it's different. If you watch them wind up, it's completely different.
Oh, completely. Like your timing would take a few games to get used to, for sure.
But 80 miles an hour, I don't care if that baseball is just as all muddied up and you couldn't tell from the difference in the dirt. You gave Ohtani 80 miles an hour down the middle.
They call that batting practice.
Oh, my gosh. It would be so great. Imagine bringing Babe Ruth in today's game. Like I said, you got Mike Trout.
I'm not sure Babe Ruth could stay in today's game. I mean, you're talking guys that throw on average 20 miles an hour faster. I mean, if you're the best pitcher throwing high 80s.
Yes, but the ball, keep in mind, that ball is sparkling white. And they toss out a new ball. Like, he's never seen a ball that clean.
Exactly.
So when he sees it coming at it, 100 miles an hour, that probably would take, give him about a year and a half. He'd adapt.
Yeah.
I think he would adapt. But I agree. Athletes today, it's tough to compare the two, man. Honestly.
Such a fun conversation.
Yes. We want to know what your thoughts on the comments down below, folks. Where is your take on this? We would love to hear from you. This is probably one of my favorite ones to research because that was a lot of fun.
That was.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
By the way, special shout out to the Vice video. They had Mad Dog do it. I don't know if you saw it, but he's the one who basically spoke it. I still have a beef with Mad Dog now that he even knows who I am. First take, man, he just let Stephen A. lay into him and talk about how the sport of baseball is dying and just let him run his mouth and didn't stand up for the sport that he covered. Shame on you, Mad Dog. Shame on you. Step up next time, man.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, we got a couple comments we want to hit here. We got one from McKinley from a subject earlier ago. McKinley says, sorry I'm late, but I late to the party. Gonna honest, not a big fan of the most of the guards in this year's draft. Way too many of them are 6'0". Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if he measured under 6 feet. Yeah, you know how it's very well.
You've seen the show enough.
Yeah,
very well documented. Darren hates short guards.
Yes, it's literally, I don't know what it is, but the Jazz seem to have an addiction for it. They want these guys who claim to be 6'2" and basically are my height, So which your boy is not 6'2". So
no.
It's fun. We got a comment here from a friend of the channel, Tammy Price. Let's see here. Currently, Shohei currently has a scoreless inning streak and an on-base streak running at the same time. Impressive.
Very impressive.
Did not know that.
Thanks,
That's
Tammy.
Awesome. We also have another comment here. It's so hard to compare players from different eras. The game is so different rules, different equipment, different standards. Yeah, that's why this conversation is so great, because you can have that comparison. And I think probably one of the greatest ways to do that is a stat that we didn't go over, which I'd actually probably want to compare, is go with, ERA plus and OPS plus, which basically they take it against their peers and their average and then go how many points above 100.
Yeah.
And that tells you how good you are.
Yeah.
Probably should have reached that. We probably should have pulled that stat.
We probably should have, but it's okay. That was a great take though.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. All right, man. So we got a couple more things we want to talk about baseball
Yeah.
before we get out of here. We went a little long on that one, man. Holy cow, that was a long
we?
conversation.
That was a good. That was a fun one though.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Was a lot of fun. Okay. So AJ, we had 1 year of baseball where we didn't have a consensus in the sport on who the worst umpire is in baseball. And we went, but now we went from Angel Hernandez to CB Buckner.
Oh yeah.
Man, this guy's getting embarrassed out there by ABS.
ABS. I mean, the best part about ABS is it's going to keep you honest. And I've actually watched more baseball games over the last week than I probably have in years because I've already watched 3 Braves games. I actually had the Mets game on today.
Nice.
So, and it's so nice because the strike zones have tightened up a lot on most umpires you're watching. The ABS strike zone is if it's close, these umpires are making their best decision call, but you find most of these calls are relatively close.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're not missing calls by 2 inches anymore.
No.
With the exception of CB Bucknor. Yeah, and that Reds versus Red Sox game, man, 8 of his calls were challenged. 6 of them were overturned. And I mean, there was a time where he had a called strike 3 that was overturned to a ball after a challenge. The next pitch, he called strike 3 again, which was overturned again.
Yes, that was against Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
Which the guy, if you watch that, if you get a chance to watch that at bat, go ahead and watch it. That's probably the most embarrassing at bat for an umpire I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He just called it strike 3, you're out. He just like
rings them all the way up. Yeah.
And he doesn't even get out of the box. He just gets ready. You know, he's like, yeah, that's a ball.
Like so sure about it, which is so funny. I just, you know, the Red Sox manager was really good about it. I mean, he ended up getting ejected because of a check swing call.
Right.
But he went on to say it wasn't his best day.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't his best day is the understatement of the century. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Core. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he really struggled. Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I was watching Instagram and saw a John Boy video.
Oh, this is against the Brewers.
No,
game.
It was a different one, but the Brewers was that's another one I have a comment on. But
okay.
The John Boy video, he was joking around saying, anytime CB Buckner's behind the plate, teams should get 3 ABS challenges purely based on his percentage of overturned calls. I was like, wow.
Wow. It's so bad, man. It is so bad. You feel
But yeah,
bad for the guy.
that first base call though.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
replay as a whole has been around for a while now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, the ABS challenge, maybe you just don't put CB behind the dish anymore.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, in this game against the Brewers, you want to break down the call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, I had the whole thing on here, but anyways, there's a hit, hard hit ball, short base, shortstop, right?
Yep, Jake Bowers
Yeah.
for the
Hits
Brewers.
the ball hard, running. No, it was actually hit at second base. Handles it, overthrows the ball to first base. The guy runs past, clearly steps on the bag. It shows the replay, and CB Buckner's not even looking at first base. He's looking at the ball being thrown over the first baseman. He never makes a safe call. So the Brewers did the right thing.
They appeal. They throw down at first. Yeah.
Throw down to first, tag him out. He calls him out. This call's very easily overturned and instantly from a challenge because he clearly stepped on the bag, shown from 12 different angles of the camera. And CB Buckner's face doesn't even change the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he just, oh, okay, I missed it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah, it's so funny because the call is that they throw it down, so the Cubs are like, "Hey, appeal, throw it to first."
Yeah.
So they throw it to first, and then he calls them out, right? And then the
home plate
Brewers
umpire
manager-
has to announce it though, and he's like, "Really?"
yeah, so he's like then the Brewers like, "No, we're gonna challenge that call." And so they challenge it. They go into review. They get together. They huddle. And like you said, it is clear as day. He steps on the middle of the bag, dude. There is no objection that
No.
he did not. Like, it'd be different if he called him safe and maybe he thought like the throw and like, you know, like maybe he didn't like see the tag or anything. But like if he called him out, you know, there could have been some confusion there.
So many options.
But the fact that he didn't make a call and his thing is like, oh, I don't think he stepped on the base.
yeah,
When he clearly, like, it's just, you basically just said, I'm not making a call here because I wasn't watching.
we're talking 3/4 of his foot on the bag.
Yeah.
On the center of the bag.
Center of the bag. The ball sails over. Maybe he's worried about getting hit by the ball. I don't know. But you can't not make a call. You got to just call safe because he saw the player go in the air.
It was like he forgot what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was
and
just
then
like,
he just
oh,
like
shit,
appealed
I'm
to
playing
call
baseball.
it, and he calls it out. Like, obviously, the easiest call to make if someone's throwing a ball and it goes over the head and you're not seeing the play, you just call him safe because obviously he's pulled off the bag because he's jumping up.
Yeah.
And then let them challenge the call. Because then, hey, I saw him come off the bag.
Yeah.
I called him safe.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't watching the play, which he clearly wasn't, then that would be a safe call to do. But no, he didn't make that call. He just did nothing and waited for them to appeal it, and then he called him out. And then on review, clear as day, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess I didn't see him step on the bag at all. Like,
but why would you assume he doesn't touch the bag is my question.
Yeah.
Like, this is a Major League Baseball player playing in a Major League game where he clearly saw the throw be overthrown. You think he's going to run over the bag?
It's less likely a possibility that the guy took his foot off the bag, like the defender took his foot off the bag.
The defender. But if that's the case,
likely.
you call him safe by default.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just call him safe and let the managers challenge it. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, I missed it. Did you guys get it? Then you do the huddle and you're like, hey, did you guys have that bet? I had the player my way. I didn't have a good line of sight. What do you guys got? But no, like it just proved just the absolute incompetence of this particular one. And I'm flabbergasted by it, man. I just don't get it. And I'm just loving this because this is the type of stuff we're going to expect to be seeing more and more. What's really funny, before that Reds game, did you hear the call from the broadcasters?
No, I don't think so.
So before the game happened, he's like, this one should be a good one. We should see a lot of good challenges from the ABS system because CB Buckner's behind the plate. So like, they even had the broadcasters call it right before the game happened. It was just absolutely hilarious.
That's awesome.
We want to hear from you folks. You guys give us your take on the CB Buckner situation. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right. This is something we're going to probably start doing each week is basically just kind of covering the power rankings, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of breaking it down a little bit. Now, it's not on there because I haven't refreshed it, but I actually threw in a link for the updated ones as of Monday.
I actually saw these.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I did see these.
Because I saw this and I was very happy for you.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
I was too. My Braves moved from 11th to 8th.
Yes, it was 12th.
Yeah.
12th.
Oh, that's even worse.
The Braves went from 12th to 8th. So, which is great, man. The power rankings, as it goes, we have the Dodgers at number 1 spot, 4-1. Blue Jays 2 at 4-2. Yankees and Brewers are 3rd and 4th at 5-1. And then you have the Tigers 5th at 2-4. Mariners 6 at 3-4, and the Braves at 7, 5-2. Mets 3-3, Orioles 3-3, Cubs 3-3. I don't have any argument with the top 10 teams. I just kind of would like to know where their thoughts are. Is it basically just off of reputation? Because explain to me why the Blue Jays are ahead of the Yankees and the Brewers, and please explain to me why the Tigers are even in the top 8
At 2-4.
at 2-4.
It's because Kevin McGonigal's having a great season. That's the only thing that I can think of. It's like, this dude's been a star. Well, they're not winning.
Yeah. Like, oh, they have Tarek Skubal. He's not pitching every day, guys.
Yeah. He's not playing every game.
Yeah.
So that makes no sense. The Tigers confuse me for sure. Obviously, Dodgers number 1. The Blue Jays have looked good at number 2.
I think you can make an argument for the Yankees 2, Blue Jays 3. Just solely how the Yankees played. Their first series was against the Giants, and I think that's probably what's holding them back. Is the Giants with the new manager who's never coached in the majors.
But I mean, all three of those teams started 3-0, right? So Dodgers, Blue Jays, Yankees all started real strong, had good outings. I mean, the Yankees only allowed one run in their first 3 games, which is impressive. The Blue Jays held their opponents to a 157 batting average in those games. But I mean, the Mariners are in there, the Braves are in there. The Braves looked great through their first few games. They're 4-2 now after their win today. I don't know. The Tigers are the ones that confuse me in that top 10. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess they're just going off of reputation and how the team's built and expectations.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe there, but yeah, Cubs 3-3, man. They're, I don't know where to put that. In my mind there. I think they should be in the top 10. They are that good. Orioles, they're doing well. Mets, also 3-3. It makes sense. And I really like how they moved the Braves up because, again, a lot of folks were expecting them preseason to be, before all the injuries, considered to be a contender in the National League. So the fact that they're starting 4-2 with all the injuries, I think that's well warranted. I think that's great to see.
Yeah. The Braves have actually looked really good. Their pitching has looked really good. Their bullpen surprisingly has come out and been pretty dominant. Chris Sale pitched today with a cold and still threw 6 innings and was flawless. I mean, he had one slider that hung a little bit and gave up a home run, but the Braves still won 4-1, I think. So
nice. Had his Jordan flu game. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
so the Braves have looked really good. Really Drake Baldwin, the rookie of the year last year catcher that plays for the Braves. I think he drove in 4. Maybe the Braves won 5-1, but I think he drove in 4 of those runs. So Drake Baldwin's playing out of his mind right now. It's been really fun to watch. So
nice. We want to know what you think, folks. What do you think about the power rankings there? Are you okay with the top 10 there? Is there anything changes that you would make? We want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We want to hear from you. I want to hit a comment here from Havoc N45. I hope I'm saying that right. And some players had rule changes because how good they was. Yeah, exactly. When we talk about so you got the Shohei Ohtani rule that's in place on that. By the way, did you hear that there's a hole in that? So
no.
Okay, so with the ABS challenge system, right? So let's say you want to mess with it a little bit, and you want to bring in you have an opener, but you put Shohei Ohtani in right field, right? So you put Shohei Ohtani, start him in right field, right? So he's technically a position player as a starter, right? You have an opener, he pitches 2 innings, you pull him out, you put Shohei Ohtani in to pitch the rest of the game. You can't challenge any of his pitch calls.
Why is that?
The ABS rule says no position player pitches can be challenged.
No way.
Yeah, it's in the rules.
It's in the rules.
Yeah, you cannot challenge pitches from a position player because they typically come in. You only put a position player in during typically blowout games, right?
Yeah.
But if you're pulling in Ohtani to put him in,
did you know the Dodgers are going to use that when it comes playoff time?
He's technically qualified as a starter, right?
Yeah.
But he's technically also a position player. So there's a little so if you really wanted to get away with it, you could put Shohei Ohtani in right field, for example, for a couple innings.
That'd be pretty interesting to see.
And
they're like, what's up? What are you going to do now?
Bring him in to pitch the rest of the game, and no one can challenge his pitches. So,
They're all.
That also means that you can't. So, technically, I don't know how well that rule would work, how well that glitch would work, because 2 out of the 3 players that can challenge a pitch call are on defense, the pitcher and the catcher. So the one player that couldn't challenge would be the offense, which would be the batter. So, yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That there's an Ohtani rule that needs amendment already from the Ohtani rule.
Dude, did you see the first game ending ABS call?
No, I did not see this.
No. One. Oh, the Orioles. So the Orioles were leading the Rangers 8-3 in the 9th.
Okay.
Albert Suarez from the Orioles threw a high 1-2 fastball to Evan Carter. The pitch is originally called a ball to continue the game.
Mm-hmm.
The Orioles catcher immediately challenges it. The pitch was overturned, and the game ends in the 9th inning. The first ABS ending call.
Oh, no kidding.
Was in the Orioles and the Rangers game. Yeah.
See, that happened in spring training a couple times last year.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
First official one happened just this week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it a little weird that we don't have any teams that are 5-0 this year? We had 2 teams that made 7-0 last year, a couple 6-0. This year, everybody got a loss within the first 4 games.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy, right?
It's a little crazy, but the distribution. The only team that surprises me that's not 5-0 would be the Dodgers. When you're talking straight distribution of wealth and distribution of assets,
and how that loss came blew my mind. Because Roki Sasaki was the one starting that game,
right?
So you're thinking, okay, Roki Sasaki gave a bunch of runs. He hasn't figured it out as a starter yet. That makes sense. Dodgers didn't put up the offense to support him.
Yeah,
makes sense. No, dude, Roki Sasaki had a great outing. I think he threw correct me if I'm wrong, Tammy, in the chat. I think he threw 4 shutty. He was doing really well, and it's only until the bullpen came in that they coughed up a bunch of runs. So I'm kind of wait a minute, what the heck happened here? Against the Guardians, which by the way, their rookie is fantastic. They got a rookie on their team that I swear to God, he's going to be the rookie of the year candidate for me. This guy is awesome. He came in and played for the playoff. It played in the playoffs last year. They got a kid in there. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, man, I think that's crazy. The ABS challenge system ended the game. That's cool. We'll probably see more of that.
Oh, I'm sure. That was just the first one, so I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, as a reminder, folks, thank you for tuning in for this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. As a reminder, folks, this is a live stream that we do every Wednesday evening at 7:30. So please feel free to join us on YouTube if you're listening to the podcast after, or you're watching this on YouTube after. We are here every Wednesday. Join us on the live stream. Jump in the chat. We love to interact with you guys.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.